America, we got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. Hey, good Monday morning, everybody. Hello, TikTok. Former Congressman Joe Walsh with you, still under the weather. But I had a restful weekend. I hope you all did. By the way, I did something yesterday, and I'll get into this later, that I haven't done in years. I spent 5.5 hours and I watched a golf tournament on television, the Masters, the final round, Rory McIlroy, unfreaking believable. If any of you watch that, I'll get into that a little bit later. Hope you all had a good weekend. I genuinely don't know where to start this Monday. I got a couple things, just two, that I want to get off my chest. And then I want to tell you about something that I think is pretty interesting and give you something to think about. I don't know which outrage to get off of my chest first. So I think I'll go with Trump and Putin first. Trump and Putin. Trump and Putin. Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. Trump and his buddy Putin. Trump and his boss Putin. No time to waste. We got to jump right into another week. Donald Trump and his boss, Vladimir Putin. I again just want to say at the outset something I've been very public about for a long, long time. I think Donald Trump is a Russian asset. I think Trump is working for Putin. I know Donald Trump is siding with Putin. In this 3+ year war where Vladimir Putin invaded a sovereign nation, Vladimir Putin, the aggressor, the dictator, the evil one, Donald Trump, the current president of the United States, is siding with the dictator, the aggressor. He's not with, in fact, he's against the sovereign nation that was invaded. He's against the free world. We're not going to get into it today about is Trump a Russian asset? Joe, prove it. Don't prove it, whatever. Can't argue with this. Nobody can argue with this. Donald Trump stands with Putin. Trump stands with Putin. When I was a kid, when I grew up, that had been grounds for you know what, right? America standing with the evil Soviet Union, standing with Russia. America on the wrong side, on the bad side, not on the side of the free world, not on the side of democracy, not on the side of the good guys. That's where we are. And I don't know how else you can explain Trump's behavior these last 10 to 11 years. Everything Donald Trump has done and everything Donald Trump has said has been to the benefit of Putin, has been to the support of Putin, has been beneficial to Putin. Everything. So if Trump's not a Russian asset, man, he's doing a real damn good job of playing one. So what happened yesterday? Yesterday, Palm Sunday. For all of my Christian brothers and sisters around the world, Palm Sunday yesterday. And Vladimir Putin set off a targeted Palm Sunday attack, missile attack against Ukraine. Vladimir Putin targeted Ukrainian civilians coming out of church yesterday on Palm Sunday. Something like over 100 Ukrainian civilians killed. Putin targeted them. This was a targeted attack on Palm Sunday using weaponry targeting Ukrainian civilians. North of 100 Ukrainian civilians killed. There was a lot going on yesterday. There's been a lot going on the last few days. So in case you weren't aware of that, that's what Putin did yesterday. Specifically launched an attack against Ukrainian civilians on Palm Sunday. Specifically launched an attack against Ukrainians going to and leaving church on Palm Sunday. Beyond evil, beyond outrageous, beyond wrong, right? Should easily be condemned by every world leader, right? Every democratically elected world leader, every member of the free world, just every human being with a conscience should unequivocally condemn what Putin did yesterday, targeting civilians on Palm Sunday. By the way, hell of a ceasefire, right? Trump, some sort of ceasefire, some sort of agreement with Putin, bullshit. But what Putin did yesterday, targeting Ukrainian civilians on Palm Sunday, should be the easiest thing in the world for any member of the free world to condemn unequivocally, except for Donald Trump. Here's what Donald Trump had to say about Putin's attack yesterday when he was asked.
Yes. Do you have a reaction to Russia's Palm Sunday attack on Ukraine?
I think it was terrible, and I was told they made a mistake, but I think it's a horrible thing. I think the whole war is a horrible thing. I think the war is, for that war to have started, is an abuse of power. This country would have never allowed that war to have started if I were...
Oh, stop, Keith. Stop, Keith. Stop, Keith. Thank you. Thank you, Keith. I think it was a mistake. They said it was a mistake. Donald Trump coming to Putin's defense. Russia said it was a mistake. They didn't mean to set off this attack on Palm Sunday. And right away then Trump goes into the war is a horrible thing and it never would have happened. And I blame Biden and I blame Zelensky. I blame everybody but Putin. Donald Trump, the day after Putin targets Ukrainian civilians on Palm Sunday, Donald Trump comes out and says, Russia didn't mean to do it. They said it was a mistake. Speaking for Putin. Again, is he a Russian asset? Does Putin have something on him? Or does he just work for Putin? Or does he just love Putin? The fact that he can't unequivocally, Trump cannot unequivocally condemn what Putin did yesterday, targeting and killing hundreds of Ukrainian civilians on Palm Sunday. It was no mistake. This was a planned attack, a targeted attack. Missiles, smart missiles, targeted to hit civilians coming out of church on Palm Sunday. And Trump takes Putin's defense and says, oops, it was an accident. It was a mistake. And then he condemns both sides. I don't know if we have it, Keith. Trump just put out a statement earlier this morning. Quite literally, again, there it is. Thank you, Keith. The war between Russia and Ukraine is Biden's war, not mine. All he talks about is himself. But then this line of Trump's down here. President Zelensky and crooked Joe Biden did an absolutely horrible job in allowing this war, this travesty to begin. Donald Trump this morning, again, blaming Ukraine for being invaded, blaming Joe Biden for Ukraine being invaded, but refusing to blame the man who invaded Ukraine. I don't feel well enough to get worked up, so I'm not. I don't know how you can look at that, how you can watch Trump the day after Ukrainian civilians were killed on Palm Sunday, and Trump says Putin didn't mean it. It was a mistake. It was an accident. I don't know how you can listen to that and not be sick to your stomach. Trump's a traitor. Trump works for Putin, quite literally works for Putin. Trump's a Russian asset. Pick your poison. You blame Zelensky and Biden for Putin invading Ukraine. And you don't blame Putin. You never blame Putin. You never, ever blame Putin. Like I say a lot, thanks, Keith. I say often, whenever I go on a podcast or whenever I go on TV, that we knowingly elected a bad, horrible man. And even a lot of people who voted for Trump voted for him knowing he's a bad guy. But, you know, the Democrats suck, or the border's wide open, or they're eating cats and dogs, or the whatever, blah, 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 blah. But they voted for Trump knowing Trump's a bad guy. I don't think that goes far enough. Did you vote for Trump knowing that Trump is with Putin? Did you vote for Trump knowing that the president of the United States is a Russian asset? I mean, works for Russia? I mean, works for Putin? Nothing amazes me because we reelected Trump again. Nothing amazes me. But I'll always want to believe that so many of these people who voted for Trump, knowing Trump's a bad guy, they see something like this. Ukrainian civilians coming out of church on Palm Sunday, and that evil, sick bastard, Vladimir Putin, launches a missile attack targeting these Ukrainian civilians coming out of church on Palm Sunday. And Donald Trump, the president of the United States, comes to Putin's defense. It was an accident. Defending Putin. It was an accident. Again, any responsible world leader in the free world, right, unequivocally condemn what Putin did, right? Any human being with a conscience who believes in freedom and decency and democracy would unequivocally condemn Putin. But the president of the United States can't. And there's who gives a fuck, says 5-6. Let's focus on our country. That's a great attitude, man. That's a great attitude. Who cares? Who cares, Joe? I don't care, Joe, if my president is a Russian asset. I don't care if he's with Putin. Let's focus on our country. I don't care that Putin targeted a bunch of Ukrainian civilians on Palm Sunday. And I love me some Trump for defending Putin. Right in front of us. It's all there to see. And we do what we want with it. So put a cap on it. No, America. No. No, all of you who voted for Trump. No, all of you who voted for Trump knowing he's a bad guy. No, shame on you. Shame on you. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. We have way too many selfish people in this country. Like that dude on Facebook, who I forget his name, who just said, I don't care, let's focus on America. Bullshit. What a selfish man you are. What a selfish man you are. You don't care if the president sides with an evil guy like Putin. You don't care if a bunch of Ukrainian civilians are killed and our president comes out right away and rushes to defend Putin, the killer. You don't care. Let's focus on me. Take care of me. Bring the price of my eggs down. Selfish, 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 selfish people knowingly voted for this guy. And the beauty of what Trump does, because he is what he is, and he works for Putin, and he's a Russian asset. Oh my God, right? America elected a Russian asset. The beauty of it is, this is what Trump will continue to do. And so those of you who voted for him, admitting he's a bad guy, that's no longer good enough. You voted for him. Now you know Trump is a Russian asset. Now you know Trump stands with Putin. And that's on you. You now own that. You now own that, Steve. You own that. Amen. You voted for a guy who's with Putin, who's with the dark side, the bad side. That's yours. Second thing I need to get off my chest. This is not what America is. This just is not what America is. This is not what America should be. I will not stop this mantra. This is not what America is. This is not what America should be. I will fight until my last breath to make certain that every American knows this. We do not live in a country. We are not a country that just snatches up innocent people. We are not a country. America is not a country where the government can simply snatch up innocent people off of the streets because of what they believe. We are not a country. America must not be a country where the government can send innocent people down to a foreign prison in El Salvador. Excuse me. That's not who we are. Did you see this? Remember 2.5 weeks ago, the young, the graduate student at Tufts University who was grabbed literally off the streets, put into a car and detained because she had co-authored an anti-Israel piece, and she's still being held against her will. And Marco Rubio in the State Department said that her and people like her were going to get out of this country because they represent a threat to America. Remember that? Remember when that happened 2.5 weeks ago? You saw the video. I played it right here. Her name is, what is her name? Her name is Rumessa Ozturk, a graduate student at Tufts University, walking down the street. Bunch of plain clothes, ICE, our immigration cops grabbed her, put her in a car. Boom. Not seen since. That happened here. And Rubio said she was a threat. She was a threat. Supports Hamas or a terrorist group or something or other. Turns out none of that is true. Turns out none of that was true. Turns out she's not a threat at all. Keith, do you have that? It's the last thing I sent you. Turns out that, thank you, Keith. Turns out that days before Miss Ozturk was snatched up off of the streets by our immigration cops, the State Department, days before she was grabbed, acknowledged that they hadn't produced any evidence of any anti-Semitic activity against her. They had not found any evidence of any support of any terrorist group against her. So there was no there. No evidence of anti-Semitic activity, our own State Department acknowledged, and no evidence of any support of a terrorist group, our own State Department acknowledged days before she was apprehended. And yet she was apprehended off of the streets based on her beliefs and nothing more. No crimes. No charges. No charges filed because our government admitted they didn't have anything on her. Nope. Nope. Got nothing. This is happening every day. So she sits now 2.5, 3 weeks, still in confinement, as her case works its way now up through the legal system. But we apprehended her simply because of what she believes. See, this is not complicated stuff. This is gut check, TikTok, MAGA. This is gut check. This is a really simple question. Don't care where you stand on Israel or not. Don't care what you think about America or not. I'm super pro-Israel and I love America. Just a simple question for all of us. Do you want to live in a country where the government can snatch up innocent people off of the streets because of what they believe? Yes or no? And think long and hard. Think long and hard before you answer that question. Because it's crystal clear. As, by the way, it's crystal clear over that gay barber who was accidentally grabbed 3-4 weeks ago and now sits in an El Salvador jail. No charges filed against him. They didn't have it. We didn't have anything on him. This is a simple snatch 'em. Snatch 'em, Trump supporters say. Don't care. Don't care if they've committed a crime. Don't care if they support Hamas or not. Doesn't matter. Grab them. Get them out of here. Accidents happen. Yeah, accidents happen. Accidents happen. This is not what America is. And it's happening every day right now under Trump. This case got a lot of attention. And now we find out that Rubio and the State Department didn't have anything on her. Not a damn thing. And they grabbed her off of the streets anyways. Our government did. Is this the kind of America you want? No questions asked. Because of what people say and what they believe, You want to give our government the power to just grab them off the street, hold them forever, expel them if they can. And again, if you say yes, then man, don't be surprised when the government knocks on your door or grabs you off the street. And don't you say, Joe, I'm an American citizen. Can't happen. Bullshit. Bullshit. By the way, Abrizio Garcia, that Maryland man who sits in an El Salvador jail right now, a man who sits there because our own government admitted in court that they messed up, they made a mistake, administrative error. He still sits there. The Trump administration knows they messed up, and the Trump administration won't lift a finger to bring him back. The Supreme Court has said, facilitate his return. The Trump administration has basically said, I'm going to ignore it. It's El Salvador's issue. It's El Salvador's problem. The State Department put out a statement today on Garcia. He is detained pursuant to the sovereign domestic authority of El Salvador. What a statement that is. But I put, again, this right back at all of us. Is this the kind of country you want to live in, where our government can make a mistake and send the wrong man to an El Salvador prison and then just wash their hands of it and not do anything to get him back? And just say, look, he's El Salvador's problem now. Is that, Jeff Hartman? How would you like it, Jeff, if your brother was accidentally picked? Jeff Hartman, I think he's talking to me. F you, asshole. I think you're talking to me, Jeff. Hey, Jeff, how would you feel if the government accidentally picked up your brother and put him in an El Salvador prison on accident? Hey, Jeff, it was an administrative error. I got a question, Jeff. What if our government, due to an administrative error, accidentally picked up your brother, Jeff, and threw him in that El Salvador prison? Hey, Mr. MAGA tough guy. Hey, talk to me, Mr. MAGA tough guy. Let's say your little brother, Jeff. What if your little brother was picked up by the Trump administration and now he sits in an El Salvador prison, right? And in court, the Trump administration, Jeff, MAGA tough guy, you still listening? The Trump administration, Jeff, in court admitted that they made a mistake with your brother. They thought your brother was a Venezuelan gang member. Oops. Oopsie, Jeff. Oopsie, Jeff. Trump administration mucked up. We made a mistake. How would you feel, Jeff? Would you still be telling me to fuck off? Or would you be a little upset with your government? It's actually a great question for every Trump supporter. Love you all. Dear Trump supporters, I want you to think about this sometime today. Squirrel away somewhere. Take 10, 15 minutes, Trump supporters, and in a few moments of quiet, I want you to think about this. If the Trump administration picked up one of your family members and put him on an airplane with a bunch of Venezuelan gang members and threw him in an El Salvador jail, and then the Trump administration came out and admitted a week later, we mucked up, we made a mistake, an administrative error, and your family member shouldn't have been picked up. Question, Trump voters. Would you care? Your little brother, your best buddy, your little sister, whatever, your big brother, your twin brother, your uncle, your dad? What do you say, MAGA, MAGA? Trump accidentally puts your brother on an airplane, Mr. MAGA. Now your brother sits in an El Salvador prison, Mr. MAGA, MAGA. Would you be pissed? Or would you say, hey, would you say accidents happen? Because this is the beauty. Every Trump voter right now is saying, hey, Joe, accidents happen. Accidents happen, Joe. That's all I'm getting now. Accidents happen. Would you say accidents happen if it was your brother who was accidentally put in an El Salvador prison? Hey, MAGA tough guy, would you? Be honest. Or would you be upset? And you'd want our government to get your brother back because your brother's an innocent person. Your brother's not a Venezuelan gang member. Our government messed up and grabbed your brother. Wouldn't, hey, MAGA, TikTok, don't you think MAGA would care? Or would the average Trump supporter say, my guy Trump never messes up, so screw it. My brother's going to have to sit in an El Salvador prison for the rest of his life. Accidents happen, Charlie, my little brother Charlie. Thank you, 5-6. I hope you'd be upset. I hope every Trump supporter thinks about it like that, right? Shouldn't happen. And when it does happen, I'd want my brother back. You'd want your brother back. Every innocent person should be brought back. I love to help get people think. By the way, no matter what the courts say, no matter how this case proceeds legally, always remember this Maryland guy, Abrigio Garcia, would be back here in a nanosecond if Trump wanted him back. This is all on Trump. Donald Trump has not lifted a finger to get him back. Donald Trump's going to meet with the president of El Salvador in the White House today. The president of El Salvador is going to be here. Maybe we'll all be surprised, and the president of El Salvador will bring up with him to America all the innocent people who were mistakenly put on those airplanes and sent down to that El Salvador prison. Wouldn't that be a treat? But make no mistake, this is on Trump. One phone call from Trump and that guy's back. One phone call from Trump and that gay barber is back. And every other innocent person. You want to live in a country, do you? Where when our government finds out we sent innocent people to an El Salvador prison, we don't do anything to get them back? Is that the kind of country you want to live in? Imagine if it's your brother, MAGA. Hey, final today, this Monday. You're going to begin to hear a lot more of this. I've been going around the country now for a while, having conversations with people, having conversations with MAGA, having conversations with far lefties and everybody in between, having conversations with groups of people who all think alike, having conversations with diverse groups who don't think alike, having conversations with 2 people, having conversations with 200 people. I've been traveling the country now for a little bit, and we're going to continue doing it, having face-to-face conversations with the American people, because I believe, and I believe this because people have told me this, there is a hunger in this country for face-to-face conversations, not big speeches. The rallies, the protests, that's all fine. That serves another purpose, but not big speeches and not Zoom calls with 100 people and nothing on our phone. Face-to-face conversations about where this country's at, people's hopes and fears and dreams and worries for this country. Can this country stay together? What's America going to look like? What's the next America going to look like? What should it look like? I'm having these face-to-face conversations every week around the country. We're going to keep doing it, and we're filming these conversations. and we will begin putting these conversations up on my social media, and especially we're gonna base them all on my Substack, so that all of America can watch these conversations of their fellow Americans. Thanks, Keith. That's my Substack down there, by the way. Social Contract with Joe Walsh.substack.com. Go ahead and subscribe, please. It doesn't have to cost you a thing. Social Contract with Joe Walsh.substack.com. That's going to be kind of like the base, the center for all of these, where we're going to put the content of all of these conversations. I personally believe that our democracy will not stand if we don't have these conversations, face-to-face conversations, hard conversations, difficult conversations, sometimes uncomfortable conversations, honest conversations, respectful conversations. Our democracy, I believe, can't stand if we don't have these conversations, because I don't think our democracy can stand if we stay on this road where we hate the people we disagree with. So you'll be getting a lot more of that in the days to come. Just wanted to clue you in on that. But a couple months ago, I was in suburban Chicago for a couple events, having conversations with folks, and I asked a question of a woman who worked at a local TV station. She was helping me get set up for the appearance on the local TV station. And she and I got to talking about why we are so at each other's throats in this country. Let me play that 30-second clip. Here it is. Go, Keith.
I mean, we need a lot more of what you're
God, Patty. We're at
doing.
each other's throats, and it's got to
I
stop.
know. People are they're vitriol. You're
Why is that?
horrifying.
Give me one reason. Why do you think it is that it's so bad?
People are making it their whole identity. You know,
What do you mean? Tell me what you mean.
What they feel about things, they're making that their identity instead of,
Oh, that's interesting.
you know,
So they get really wrapped up
instead
in
of
it.
listening. Yeah.
I haven't heard it put that way. That's interesting.
Thank you. I just made it up.
I love it. Patty, I'm going to steal it. I'm totally going to own that. I love it. Thanks, Keith. Again, this was just a woman who works at a local TV station, and I asked her a question, TikTok, if you didn't hear it. Why are we so at each other's throats in this country? And she said something I'd not heard before. She said, because we make this stuff, we make it all our identity. It's all we are. Like who we are politically, what side we're on politically, it becomes our whole identity. It's all we identify as. I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a never Trumper. Like this, who we are and what we believe in this political fight becomes our be all end all. It becomes our whole life. And it leads to such vitriol and such hate. And I'd never had anybody put it to me like that, because it's all we do. It becomes everything. Like, I am a never Trumper. I am MAGA no matter what. And I'm as guilty of this as anyone. And that's why I loved what Patty had to say. By the way, that's why I love having these conversations face to face with people around the country, because I always learn something. But think of the truth there, all of us, no matter where you are politically. I think that's a big problem that I am guilty of, and I think we're all guilty of. We make this our entire identity. I'm a dad. I'm a grandpa, Opa. I'm a dog owner. I love to watch old movies. I'm a big gun rights guy. I love to go out and shoot my guns at the range. I got a whole life. I'm a husband. Like all of us, we have lives that make up who we are. And I think what Patty was saying was we kind of put all that to the side and we make our political identity, the side we're on, the fight we're in, our whole identity. It becomes all consuming. It becomes our whole life. And so, yeah, if it becomes our whole life, then yeah, we find we're always arguing. We're always fighting. We're always going after each other because this is everything. This is who I am. I think there's a really good lesson here for all of us. I know I'm going to listen to it. Don't make this your whole identity. I do. This is my work and I go at it like this all day. I've got to learn to be who I am and who I am is not just this. So, this really hit home with me yesterday, a couple times. It hit home with me yesterday when I just took Sunday off and all I did was watch the Masters. I watched 5.5 hours of golf. I didn't tweet a damn thing. I didn't get mad at anybody. I didn't debate or fight anybody. I just watched golf. And it was wonderful. And it was relaxing. And then a week and a half ago, I've got a new grandson, a new 4-week-old grandson named Elijah. And I went and spent a couple of days with him. First time I'd seen my grandson. And for those 2 days I spent with Elijah, I didn't think about Trump. I didn't think about anything else. I didn't think about Trump supporters. I didn't think about Putin. I didn't think about tariffs. I thought about my grandson, Elijah. We should all try to do this. Don't make this, I'm speaking to all of us, don't make this our whole identity. I think Patty's right. When we make this the fight, the division, the fight, our whole identity, well, then, yeah, it's going to lead to vitriol. It's going to lead to hate, and it's going to lead to all of us all the time at each other's throats. So let's not make it our whole identity. Let's not. A part of who we are. But your moms, your dads, your brothers, your sisters, you're a grandpa, you're a grandma, we're all interesting people. Hope you find that as helpful as I did. Hey, thank you for listening, everybody. You want to shoot me an email, do thesocialcontractwithjoewalsh@gmail.com. There it is, Keith. Thank you. All one word, thesocialcontractwithjoewalsh@gmail.com. Last thing I'll say, you always see that No Kings graphic above me. There it is. No Kings, baby. Join me in the No Kings movement. Go to oneflaginitiative.org, all one word, oneflaginitiative.org. Sign up. Join me in the No Kings in America movement. Have a great day, everybody. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract.